Radio, covering the Low Country's finest conservative talk radio, serving Hilton Head, Bluffton, Beaufort, Savannah, and beyond. Featuring your host, Big Al Flowers, with co-host Jeff Zapp. Two patriots who are unashamed to speak truth as they stand for God, family, and country. Join them as they discuss hot issues, breaking news, politics, sports, faith, and more, keeping the Low Country entertained and informed. Listen at TalkOneRadio.com or watch them streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Taking your calls at 843-800-1492. Don't be left out in the marsh. Find your voice on the Low Country's finest talk radio. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, only on TalkOne Radio.
$800-1492. Don't be left out in the marsh. Find your voice on the Low Country's finest talk radio. And now, here's Big Al.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is Al Flowers from TalkOne Radio. We're joined by Jeff Zapp here on a nice, Wednesday, the 25th of August, 84 degrees in the Low Country. It's going to be nice weather, except for Friday, maybe a little rain, but we're glad you're here. We're glad to be here, and we want to thank you right up front for listening tonight. Got a pretty decent show. We've got the welcome mat out for Mike Covert or Logan Cunningham, if they would like to call in. I wrote them earlier this evening and asked them to call in especially about this what's going on in the county council, and this mask mandate and all this other malarkey that's happening in this beautiful Low Country of ours. Good evening, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me here in the co-pilot seat. We got everything working, and it's fantastic. So thanks for joining us over the Hump Wednesday. Lots to talk about. As always, brother, good to see you, and thanks for having me tonight.
You bet. No problem. Nothing earth-shattering going on and about the, according to the Island Pravda, there's nothing really happening.
No, I mean, I think we're just
local news is pretty.
It's pretty light.
Quiet,
yeah, I think the big focus for most news right now is what's happening over in Afghanistan, and we still, with the supposed FDA approval of, and I was wrong on Monday. I think when we talked a little bit about this in terms of the FDA approval, it's not for Pfizer, it's for the BioNTech, and it's actually not even available yet. So this, as I study this more and more, it's just interesting. I put down in the ticker there is this, these quote vaccines, they're not vaccines as we know, but these shots, these injections, are they causing a medical segregation here in the United States and abroad? It certainly seems like that. You just mentioned right before we went live of how some of these universities are now going to be requiring students to be vaccinated.
Yeah, I was just mentioning Ohio State University. The Ohio State University is, everybody's got to be vaxxed or else too bad don't show up. And what did you say to me? This is segregation at its best.
Yeah, I mean, that's depending on how you look at it. So much for informed consent. So much for if you do have a condition, maybe that you're more susceptible to. Maybe it's a blood disorder, or certainly pericarditis or myocarditis, if I can talk tonight, for some of the adolescents. I just think this has been a rush job, and so here we are now trying to navigate our way through this minefield of potential issues. So, you okay over there?
Yeah, it seems like we're not going out on Backbone Radio.
Oh, that's really.
But strange. Let me just check that out real quick here.
All right. Well, I'll keep talking on here. So that's that, and then of course, I know we're good
on Radio Max, so that means it's happening. So.
Okay, yeah. I was just checking the feeds over here, and we're live on both Facebook and YouTube tonight as well. And I said, kind of trying to do some improvements to our broadcast standard here, folks. So thank you again for joining us. Most importantly, we really want to hear what's on your mind tonight. This forum is, whether you agree with us or not, this forum is to really bridge the gap, to have some dialogue with those that might have varying viewpoints than ours. It is conservative talk radio. We're not going to jump on you or pounce on you. If you get salty with us, we might get a little salty back occasionally, but we encourage you to call in here at the studio, 843-800-1492. That's why we're here. This is all about conservative talk radio, bringing you the latest news and what's happening worldwide and how it affects us, not only here in the Low Country, but in this great nation that we live.
And we're not above listening to, the opposite side of the street. So
that's right.
I mean, we're not going to shy away. If you have a diametrically opposed opinion, bring it. But, make sure that you are polite when you do that. Okay, I got to just recycle this. Let's do this. Just give me a minute, folks. We'll get this thing together. We're still going out. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, with regard to, what's happening here locally, I don't spend a lot of time on social media, probably like some of you. I find it to be very toxic. So I tend to stay off of it. I'm actually probably do more perusing on Telegram. If you haven't gotten on Telegram, I think it's a pretty neat way of catching up on what's happening versus, even though we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, we get throttled. There's no doubt about it. And when Al was gone on his little vacation for his birthday, I got us the ding, for posting, or I'm sorry, sharing a stream that it went against the community guidelines for YouTube. And I'm sure that it's just, again, part of the censorship here is you say something that goes against the propaganda narrative that's being reported on 24/7, 365 in the mainstream legacy media, if you will. They're going to come after you. And it's unfortunate because, we're just trying to speak the truth. And we don't have every single answer, nor do we know everything. But we try to at least research before we speak. And if we are wrong, we will correct ourselves. And so, again, this is a forum where people can call in, express what's on their minds, and we try to do our best to present you the truth as we know it to be. Sometimes we're wrong, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think, according to getting that black stripe or whatever they want to call it at YouTube, the fact was it wasn't like some Alex Jones black helicopter, insane asylum type of stuff. It was another virologist doctor that was actually quite well respected worldwide, stating his peace of mind as he saw the science, as he was, with his 45 years of experience.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I don't quite understand about this, where everything else, if it doesn't come through the White House filter or the mainstream media filter, which is attacked, they're the same. What am I talking about?
Right.
If it doesn't come through that filter, then it's misinformation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know as well as I do that there's two sides to every coin, as there is in every argument. every debate. So what is wrong with listening to scientific evidence from the other side of the street and allowing us as human beings, as smart Americans, to make our own decision? The notion that we have to have Uncle Sam wipe our butts every time we turn around, and instead of giving just general guidelines about how to keep yourself safe, they go on this absolute rampage of exercising authority.
Right.
And which directly constricts our freedoms. And if you don't see that going on, and the only excuse you have is that, you're trying to kill me if you don't stay in your house and wear your mask when you're driving or outside. If you're exercising, mister, you better put that mask on because those particles fly all over the place. I mean, what you're doing is you're constricting my freedoms because of your fear. And the fear is being developed quite nicely. These people are, well trained. The government is well trained in how to manipulate people. Trust me on that. I work for the IRS. I'll tell you, I collected money for them. And I can tell you right now, we had specialized training on how to manipulate people without them even knowing it. And this is either in person or on the phone. I mean, it's pretty dastardly, really. But I mean, I within 10 minutes of talking to you, I can tell you, you will tell me where you bank. I guarantee it. I mean, I'm a bit out of practice, but I can get it down to it. I could bring the conversation through the.
It's still in your recall, man. You can bring it right up.
It's like the water coming up on a sinking boat. I can just you're done. So our position is that, listen, we present one type of news here, and that news is always connected to our freedom and our liberty in this great country of ours. We have no other axe to grind. I mean, we're going to go after the people that we think are trying to destroy this country. And they're halfway there. They are halfway there as far as I'm concerned. They have almost all the tools they need.
Yep.
So this is where we're coming from. If you want to know, what's this guy all about? What are these dudes blowing their horn about? It's like watching Fox News, listening to these guys. I've heard it all. Go ahead, trust me. What's he want to be? Rush Limbaugh, blah, blah, blah. I listen.
Yeah.
There's 20 million comedians out of work.
Jets,
I mean,
right?
you got to just stay in your lane with the comedy. It's just unbelievable to me. So this is why we're here. We're here to try to bridge this gap because it's getting wider by the day. You got people going after each other about not wearing masks, about wearing masks, about being able to be open. I mean, there's idiocy.
I got a little clip I want to play. My buddy just sent it to me.
Ahead.
It's a little common sense. It was I'm not on TikTok, by the way, but it's a common sense thing that I think is hopefully we can hear this. Okay, I'm going to make sure that we are able to hear this on our live stream. But it's a cute little thing that this reminds me of something my daughter would do. So I'm going to share this real quick here.
Go ahead.
Let me see if I can find this. Share the audio. All right. Let's see if I can do this.
You get it. What if you catch COVID? The vaccine doesn't stop you from catching COVID. Why are you being so selfish? What if you catch it and give it to me? But you've been vaccinated. Yeah, but you can still give it to me. What's the vaccine for then? It'll stop you from getting really sick and dying if you catch it. So if I catch it and give it to you, but you've already had the vaccine, it'll still stop you from getting really sick and dying. Exactly. That's why you should get it. That's why I should get it? But you got it already. But if you catch it, you could get sick and die. So by not getting the vaccine, the only person I'm putting at risk is myself of getting sick and dying? No, you're putting me at risk. Didn't you already get the vaccine so you won't get sick and die, even if I gave it to you? But you could give it to someone who can't be vaccinated. But so could someone who's been vaccinated because the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. Did you get the vaccine? No. Why? Why didn't you get it? What if you catch COVID? The vaccine doesn't stop you from catching COVID. Why are you being so selfish? What if you catch it and give it to me? But you've been vaccinated. Yeah, but you can still give it to me. What's the vaccine for then? It'll stop you from getting really sick and dying if you catch it. So if I catch it and give it to you, but you've already had the vaccine, it'll still stop you from getting really sick and dying. Exactly. That's why you should get it. That's why I should get it, but you got it already. But if you catch it, you could get sick and die. So by not getting the vaccine, the only person I'm putting at risk is myself of getting sick and dying? No, you're putting me at risk. Didn't you already get the vaccine, so you won't get sick and die,
logic
even
here
if I
at its
gave it
best.
to you?
You
But
got-
you could give it to someone who can't be vaccinated. But
you
so
get
could someone who's been...
that's personal. You understand kind of where that's coming from. I mean, it's one of those situations where just using some critical thinking skills, all this stuff here really is nonsensical. It's asinine.
Especially the mask deal. I think I'm down with the vaccine thing. Okay. Vaccines are nice. I think it's a personal choice.
There you go. Personal choice.
Right. And I've had the Pfizer vaccine, both of them, and it was by choice. It was because my wife's mother is now 90 years old. So
right.
We didn't want to be the culprit involved in any kind of demise situation. So I didn't have any problem with it. What it's going to do, I don't know. My arm hurts when I exercise. That's the same arm I got my shot in. Is that, what's next? I mean, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, if I'm lucky enough to be alive, God willing, will it paralyze my arm? Who knows? No one knows.
Right.
But
you made the best informed decision that you could with the information that was presented to you. Yeah. Right. So like you just said, informed consent is critical.
Right.
And that's the way we should all be looking at this.
Sure.
Hey, we're sitting here together, whether I was sick or you were sick, you got the jab or I didn't get the jab or vice versa.
Right.
At the end of the day, you were told, okay, you get this and then you should be, fine. And then you don't have to wear the mask. Well, guess what? Now they're reversing.
Right.
Now they're saying certain populations, well, you're going to have to get a booster because the efficacy of that shot is probably dropped below 40%.
Yeah, right.
And it doesn't stop transmission, by the way, transmissibility. You'll probably still get it, maybe, And so this circular logic, it just goes round and round. And Fauci says, well, maybe by spring of 22 or so, we'll be out of this,
Yeah.
So 2+ years. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this in the history of our nation.
No.
And
Joe said by 4th of July, everybody could go on a picnic.
Well, he did. Yeah. Again, Joe, that's that in our in-resident regime up there, that's in the White House. I don't think he really knows what's going on other than what he's being told. But that being said, I think when we get back to here, I mean, I see here every day and today on the way over, people driving in their cars alone with a mask on. That painting on the wall there, that picture says, no amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. Now you may think, okay, well, why are masks bad? Listen, not all masks are created equal. Number one, you see people wearing all these different types of masks. They're not N95. They're not fitted to you. And so we're thinking that, this is going to help stop the transmission. Initially, the studies shown that they're not effective. Fauci himself said it. And then all of a sudden, everyone starts coming on. So it does make you question, again, just like we showed in that TikTok clip, which I thought was pretty brilliant. This young lady that did that, just kind of throwing out some questions to herself, kind of speaking to herself. But at the end of the day, it should be your own personal choice.
Right.
If you feel threatened and you need to want to wear a mask, by all means do so. But what we're not seeing is the scientific evidence, especially as it relates to our immune system and making sure that you're eating healthy, you're getting plenty of rest, that you're taking those vitamins and minerals, those nutraceuticals that actually enhance your ability to fight off or stave off any type of virus, including a respiratory virus, which is what SARS-CoV-2 is, which causes COVID-19, the CCP virus. And so here we are, 18 months later, still talking about the same old stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, folks, these masks are ineffective as a barrier to COVID virus or whatever, Delta, Gamma, Lambda, you know, who knows, Triple D, what else, what other name is coming down the pipe? Now, we cannot keep slamming these masks on our children and then taking them off and putting them on and forget them. They don't work. I mean, it's scientifically proven that they do not work. And many people, many scientists and people in the know, these are not talk show hosts. These are people that study this stuff. And these cheap blue masks that we buy from China, we don't even know what they're made of. And we don't even know what if they work or not. And none of these masks are
well, any of the studies too that are coming out, like I have mentioned several times on the show. If a study comes out, PubMed, it's out for a day or two, and then they pull it
down.
They pull it. It's been retracted.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can go look it up for yourself, folks. I mean, the whole thing with ivermectin. Think about this: hydroxychloroquine. Those two treatments specifically, they were widely available. People are getting like horse paste of ivermectin, a veterinarian medication, which is an antiparasitic. It's been proven to work rather well to help stave off, again, the virus that causes COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2. So there's treatments, there's therapeutics, there's early intervention beyond what the CDC and the NIH, these guidelines and the WHO are pushing. I saw an article about in India where they're bringing up charges against somebody at the World Health Organization with regard to because they're finding out ivermectin does work.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, here's the thing. We're talking about these numbers. We're still not really sure. We found out that the PCR test, the cycle threshold was so high in the 40s. It was never really meant to be a diagnostic tool to find out whether you have the virus or not. They are, I believe it's end of this year is when they're going to remove the PCR test. There are other tests that are available. I still would like to know the validity of those tests. How reliable are they? So you get 10,000 new cases. How many are false positives? How many are false negatives? Demographically, I want to know, each age group. Ultimately, who becomes sick or has to be hospitalized or dies, unfortunately. Those are the things that I want to look at to help make me a more informed citizen, a more informed person overall, so I can make decisions like we just mentioned at the top of the broadcast. It's personal choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's no question about it.
Until I see the package insert, till I know what's in these injections. No, thank you. Because that's part of the informed consent. Did we just throw out the Hippocratic Oath? These medical doctors, these practitioners, did they forget about that? I guess it's in parallel or analogous to what we're seeing transpire within our elected officials. Folks that swear an oath, they affirm. Right. The integrity should be intact. And then if there's something nefarious going on, they should investigate or at least pass on to the authorities to investigate. And, we're seeing that over and over again. I think we just, unfortunately, have a lot of people that, and myself included for many years, they were just somewhat apathetic. We believed that we had full faith and allegiance that, hey, those that are in charge are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But what we're finding out
is not so.
It's not the case, unfortunately. And a lot of these folks, as we've said, and I'll say it again, whether you have a D or an R beside your name or an I or whatever political affiliation, you're all in cahoots, man. It really is a uniparty.
That's why we have to have term limits. We have to get these people out of there, dynamite them out.
We've got to stop the special interest, the money, the lobbying that comes in, this dark money. We got to stop these career politicians from being up there for 40 years that do nothing but line their pockets. It has to be stopped. We've got to reverse course here, and I'm hoping that we can do it. I'm trusting in God along the way, by the way. That's all I can do.
Career politicians, right. I mean, they're not needed. They are not needed. We need young, old, I don't care how old they are, but fresh blood in there with a good outlook on what's going on that are, and change some of these lobbying laws.
I agree.
We got these more lobbyists they're inside the Capitol building more than these people on 1-6.
Right.
Hustling down the hall, trading, doing, give us this, we'll take that, we'll give you this. These people are making money hand over foot. And I'm talking about the politicians. How can someone go from making 100, maybe 200,000 a year, all of a sudden start making 15 million a year? And this is based off their own tax returns.
Yeah.
How does that happen, folks? And you're a politician, but you just happen to be there for 12 or 14 years. I mean, it begs the question, but we're not going to get anything out of the FBI. Nobody in the Treasury is not going to go looking at them. They're too busy working for the politicians. They're the spears that these politicians, whether it be Republicans or Democrats, throw at groups that try to crack the cheese, try to get below the crust. If they identify you as some type of conservative rabble rouser, or now as, TSA and Homeland Security calls us extremist terrorists. I'm about as much of a terrorist as I am a bicycle. I mean, it's unbelievable. Because I love the country, because people on 1-6, hey, listen, those idiots that went in there and started breaking things and getting out of control, they had no business going in there, period. They should have been handled right there on the spot. Nobody should have been holding the door open for them or moving barricades out of their way. And certainly the Capital City Police shouldn't have been shooting unarmed women in the throat because they were climbing a barricade when you could have walked over there and pushed her down. Yeah. Unbelievable. Capital City Police find one of their own absolutely guiltless. Absolutely. Let's just say that this was a BML, Black Lives Matter rally, and this same thing happened, and the cop was white. What do you think would have happened? We would have had a day of complete, the day the earth stood still type of gig. But here, this Ashley Babbitt, cremated 2 days after the autopsy. I don't know if her parents ordered that or not, but she was still in the custody of the D.C. coroner. Why? We haven't even identified who the shooter was. We know he was somebody from the Capitol Police Force. They did the investigation, their own internal affairs. Of course, they work for Nancy Pelosi. He got a free ride. I mean, I don't know how you can do that as a cop. I'm sorry. I don't know how you can do that. I mean, I've been in some situations, bar fights, where women got as rowdy as men, and you handle them just like men. You beat them down, you get them out of there, get them quieted down and moved off. You don't take your sidearm out and shoot them in the throat. I mean, under what guise was that woman a threat to that guy's life or others? I mean, I'd love to hear what that report had to say, because I know it's ginned up all the way. Makes me sick when I think of it, actually.
Well, here's some news for you. I just pulled this up. I had text message that came in. Capitol cop who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt on January 6th will reveal his identity for the first time during interview with NBC's Lester Holt tomorrow night. This is the Daily Mail I'm reading here.
Oh,
so let me actually, if it's all right, I'll pull this up and share it. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Want to see it? So my wife just sent this over to me. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let's go to the Brave tab, and I guess it would be helpful, Jeff, if you put your glasses on so you can actually see what you are looking at.
Well, you need a minute here because we could go to break.
No, let me just do this real quick. Hopefully you can see that okay?
Yeah, I get it.
All right, so good. So I'm going to read this real quickly before we go to hard break. We talk about that the police officer who shot dead Ashley Babbitt during the Capitol riot will reveal his identity on Thursday when he sits down for a television interview to explain how the tragic events unfolded. Babbitt, 35, was the only person killed during the, quote, insurrection when the officer opened fire as a MAGA mob stormed through the rotunda. Speaking out and revealing his identity publicly for the first time, the officer will share his perspective on the events of that day, including the aftermath of the deadly insurrection and the threats he had received, said NBC News in a statement announcing that he would be interviewed by Lester Holt. The interview will be broadcast at 6:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So as that story unfolds,
there's some photos of the young lady.
Yeah,
Air Force veteran, by the way.
Yep. Here, and it looks like
this is the aftermath. This is where
there's the video where she was shot there. So as my colleague was just mentioning here, and we continue to hear this, I saw Sidney Powell talking about some of the harsh treatment as political prisoners, and that's what they are. There's, I think, 80 of them that are still being held as a result of, quote, this insurrection. 14,000 hours, folks, of video. So, we're not to the bottom of this yet. And it's unfortunate that we've got to go through this. I know we're getting ready for a break in just 10 seconds. I'll be ready, but we can talk a little bit more about this. Let's hear what's on your mind, folks. Again, the call line, dial us up here. We'll be taking your calls, 843-800-1492.
You're listening to TalkOne Radio. We'll be right back.
Vineyard Assisted Living is a nurturing community with customized care, programming, and amenities that aim to engage and inspire. At Vineyard, we don't just care for you, we care about you, which is why we personalize our programming and care levels to each resident's passions and needs, stimulating mind, body, and soul. Find out more about how you or your loved one can thrive at Vineyard. Email info@vineyardbluffton.com or call 843-612-0700.
Are you tired of market losses and fees associated with the stock market? Would you like to be able to watch your money grow without the risk of any losses? Successful Seniors can help you secure your retirement income. There are no monopolies on good ideas, and in today's financial environment, it is important to get a second opinion and find out what prudent and informed investors are doing with their money. Call toll-free 833-814-0115 or email Doug at dougfair1@msn.com for a no-cost appointment.
Are you an entrepreneur with a business idea but just need a little help getting it off the ground? Well, the Don Ryan Center for Innovation in Bluffton can help entrepreneurs succeed and innovative companies grow. As a nonprofit organization, they provide resources and experienced guidance to successfully launch and grow your business. Contact them today to see how they can help at 843-540-0405 or visit their website at donryancenter.com.
No time for fitness? Unsure of what to do when you walk into the gym? The eFit Club uses eGym and Matrix technology combined with personal training to easily guide you through your workout. It's the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to improve your health. The eFit Club is suitable for all adults, and our members are reporting amazing results. The eFit Club is located in Bluffton at the Belfair Town Village Shopping Center. Mention Alan or Roman of TalkOne Radio, and you'll receive a special discounted membership. It's your time to get fit. Change your fitness, change your life.
Looking for a barbershop with a traditional feel? Well, look no further. Joe's Classic Cuts Barbershop is the Low Country's place to receive a top quality haircut or straight razor shave. You'll enjoy a family environment where everyone is welcomed and the refreshments are on the house. Joe's is located at 23 Johnston Way in Bluffton and open 7 days a week. For old school service and quality, makes Joe's Classic Cuts Barbershop your go-to place for the finest haircut and shave in the Low Country. Call 843-757-5637 or visit www.joesclassiccuts.com today for your next appointment.
The Epoch Times is dedicated to truthful reporting, free from any influence of government, corporation, or political party. Now, radio listeners can receive an introductory 1-month subscription to the Epoch Times weekly newspaper, as well as unlimited access to its website, all for $1. Visit readepoch.com to subscribe online, or call the Epoch Times at 917-905-2080 to subscribe by phone. That's 917-905-2080.
Vineyard Memory Care Community assists those with memory loss to thrive through wellness-enhanced programs promoting independence and mobility while receiving the care and support they need. At Vineyard, we don't just care for you, we care about you and enhance the quality of life for individuals with dementia while providing their loved ones peace of mind. Find out more about how your loved one can thrive at Vineyard. Email info@vineyardbluffton.com. Call today, 843-612-0700.
The only conservative talk radio where you are more important than the host. TalkOne Radio. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's right. We're back. We're back on TalkOne Radio. I'm Al Flowers, joined by Jeff Zapp. Get suited up. We're going to be here till 9 o'clock tonight. We're interested in your calls, so don't be shy. Nobody's going to, say, hey, is this? I know this is George. You don't have to worry about that. Listen, you like music, you like country music, you got to check out Concert for the Heroes, featuring Mark Chestnut with Walker Montgomery. It's going to be happening up at the Operation Patriots FOB in Ridgeland on the 8th of October. Get your tickets now. They're reasonably priced, $40. VIPs are $250, and they're looking for big sponsors. So this will go to help veterans with PTSD. It's a camaraderie type of gig. They help each other get better. And you can go to OPSFOB, right? OPSFOB.org.
OPFOB. OPFOB.org.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I'll be here all week.
So go there, get your tickets. Everything will be lovely.
Yeah, here's the event. I'm gonna throw it up here for everybody to see. Listen, if you're wondering what are these guys talking about, let me share this because I think it's important for everyone to see what's going on here with Operation Patriots FOB. And here we go. We're going to share this right now. There you go. Right when you go to opfob.org, you're going to see this big banner right there. Mark Chestnut, Walker Montgomery, Jared Ashley, Rick Tiger, Ted DiBiase Jr., Ted DiBiase, and Ray Merciless Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
So October 8th, man. I mean, go there. This is a great organization here over in Richland. They've got 268 acres or something like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. They just did some work to pick up some more acreage too. So
yeah, JR and Stephanie are doing a phenomenal job. They have support. I mean, certainly in this area, we've got a lot of veterans, we've got a lot of active duty, Marines, Army, right, and everything in between as well. So hats off to JR and Stephanie for what they're doing here. This should be a phenomenal event.
Yeah, go to the website. It's opfob.org.
So there you go. A little plug for you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, we're back.
Well done.
Hey, man, I'm learning.
Me too.
Working together like this, it's a lot better. I kind of like. Don't you like this
melon deal because I couldn't balance? It was like spinning plates over here.
Hey, folks, and would love to hear from you. I mean, we're trying to bring you the best in programming. Again, we try to speak the truth in love,
right? And
we're trying to share things that are happening not only here locally but across South Carolina, across the United States, and internationally. So when we went to break, I was telling you about. I don't do Twitter, but I get the notifications. And I got this notification from our wonderful 1st Congressional District Representative, Nancy Mace. So I'm going to share this tweet because I think it's indicative of kind of what we're what we're dealing with.
Yeah, we had her on the show not too long ago.
You can see here, she tweeted earlier today at 2:06 p.m. Only took 6 days before one of the kids had to quarantine. I hate Delta variant. Get vaxxed, wear a mask. It might just save your life.
Which is it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Do you have to do both now again? So this is exactly what we were just referring to.
Nancy, come on.
We can do better than this, right? We can do much
stop
better.
Jumping on the bandwagon that works. You know what I mean? The hottest bandwagon in town. I mean, a lot of people are not happy with the kiddo, I'm afraid.
And I think maybe that's what we need. We need people with a backbone that go up there and they stand their ground, and they, they bring the fire, they bring the heat. They're an armor-piercing shell that they're not afraid to stand up for what's right. That's what we were talking about during the break. Al and I were saying, listen, as more and more of this stuff starts to come to the surface, and we're talking about all the topics that we're seeing here. We've got the invasion at the southern border.
Right.
We've got this whole Afghanistan debacle, right? 20 years of investing.
Oh, it's the best thing that's ever. Listening to spin nowadays.
Yeah, the Berlin airlift is basically what they've got going on over there, right? It's a total debacle, man. And then we've got the January 6th incident, what happened there. We still have people that are, again, political prisoners. They're being held, incarcerated, being denied due process.
Right.
We've got this whole November 3rd movement. The MAGA movement is on full march. And, Trump's kind of staying in the background. He's starting to do some more rallies, but we're trying to get to the bottom of this. And this has nothing to do whether Trump's the president or not. This has everything to do with what's happening in our country. What is going on with this socialist movement, this move to Marxism and this march to a communist country, tyranny? What we're seeing, if you're an American and you love the freedoms that are given to us, granted by God himself, Almighty, and guaranteed on the Constitution of the United States and also your state constitution, read it. But this whole tyranny within the medical community, and you got to get the vax or the jab. You've got to do this. You got to do that. The school board, the county council. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I know our friend General Michael Flynn had just written an article, and I was going to bring it up here in a little bit, but we still have something to salvage. We're getting close to, it seems like the edge, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're about to just drive right over the edge.
Right.
Kind of that. What was that? Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis or whatever.
Right.
The movie that I'm talking about. Remember that?
That movie?
Yeah, Brad. Was it Brad Pitt? Yeah, I don't know. Someone will say it here. Yeah, you can chat in the comments, folks. You can call in. We'd love to hear from you.
Sure.
Anytime.
We're right here.
We're right here.
We're not here for you.
We're not going to attack you.
I guess Mike Lindell is speaking right now on Thelma and Louise.
There you go. You got it.
That was the name.
Excuse me.
That was producer.
Thank you, producer. Yeah.
Way to go. And Mike Lindell is speaking right now on frank.com or whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah. frankspeech.com.
frankspeech.com.
I wonder.
I tried to pull it up, but.
Yeah, I don't think I can, because you have to enter in your phone number and stuff to get in there. If I can pull it up.
See, I might be able to get it over here. Okay. It's supposed to be live right now. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm sure it's probably has to do with the...
All right, you want me to bring it up? I've got it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, get it in there.
Let's see here if we can do this share.
You get the live?
Yeah, the live coming right here. Screen.
I don't know what he might be talking about.
Yeah, well, let's see. We're going to find out here right now. Let's see if we can hear it. Well, I'm not getting any audio, though.
I guess we're going to have to wait till the book comes out. Huh?
All right, so let's go back here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm such a moron sometimes. You got to share the audio, Jeff. Let's try it.
And many other important broadcasts. Also, I am personally doing a new daily live show to get the truth out. It's at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Secondly, I'm offering some of the best prices ever on MyPillow products, but they're only available on frankspeech.com.
This isn't a...
Go to frankspeech.com now and use the promo code on your screen or call the 1-800 number below to receive these exclusive MyPillow offers. Thank you and God bless.
So why would they not air that, Mike?
Well, they used this excuse that they did last time. They, it was basically, their content of our station is not agreeable to them, so they're censoring content now of Frank Speech. I guess I could try maybe I should tell them to do an ad for MyPillow and then direct MyPillow to Frank Speech. There's a route, but Fox said, and this costs MyPillow a lot of money, but that's, everybody knows I canceled all my ads on Fox, all the MyPillow ads. It cost MyPillow $1 million a week in sales that we would do because we're direct to the consumer. And that's why I said before, use promo code OAN to get all those same savings you used to get on Fox. Come to this great station, OAN at frankspeech.com. And but I want to tell you, we have to get around. We have to get our voices out there. And that's why I do have a show. I have this report every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Central Time. We're going to keep bringing you these reports. Do we have our guest standing by?
We're going to have to call him on the phone due to computer technical problems.
He's not doing anything.
I thought he was going to have something.
I thought he was going to have some big. Well, I mean, this is the problem I have with these people on the far right that are clucking heavily about this election stuff. Is that everything is the A bomb. They're getting ready to drop the A bomb, the Kraken. We're letting we're letting the Kraken out on everybody, where this is going to be the end of all ends. I'm sick of that shit. Either do it or don't, or shut up. That's what
we should just pull up Alex Jones, man. He's at least he's a hoot to watch. I've been saying since day one, when you're in an information war like we are, information influence operations, psychological operations, propaganda, it's being spread, whether you will admit it to yourself or not. But that's what you see here is a spin. It's being done on both sides because there's a counterintelligence, counter information operation that does occur. But at the end of the day, I've said this from the very beginning. Listen, like what they're doing in Maricopa County, it has to be a full forensic audit, because when you get down to it, the canvas is just as important as the count, right? So you want to match up to make sure that Al or Jeff voted. Those have to be. You've got to get back to the balance.
I'm all for that, baby.
Those are things that have to be done.
Let's get things fixed up, but please don't keep coming around and jangling the sabers and saying how this is going to absolutely stop the clock, and it's just
nothing ever does. We know that that's not going to work.
She did this before the election over there.
Who was this?
Sydney. What's her name?
Oh, Sidney Powell.
Yeah. The lawyer. I'm sure she's a nice lady. I mean, I'm not beating these people up. Mike Lindell, I like him. He's a good guy, good businessman, and a good Christian dude.
Yeah, he's putting it all on the line, certainly. So I think he's got an approach where he's passionate about it, just like us. He wants to get to the truth. Yeah. And this is a multifaceted approach. Not everyone's going to jump on Mike Lindell's train. That's what I'm saying. But what we're talking about is the base of America when we start looking across the board, and that's what we're bringing to light, is whether you look at the medical tyranny that we're under, the events that are happening from a national perspective. I mean, we have to have a solid border. We have an immigration policy. Right. If we're letting folks flow in and invade us at the southern border,
sure,
our defense, national defense. I mean, that's what we need. And all of a sudden, look at that. We're the laughing stock of the world right now. What's happening?
We are
in
very,
Afghanistan.
very vulnerable right now.
So when you look at, again, I'm not trying to focus on one particular thing, but when you start adding in COVID-19 or the pandemic, which Jen Psaki, I thought it was kind of cute. She had a Freudian slip. She called it the pandemic. When you look at all of these things, including the election,
right?
Those, I mean, again, it's just like the the TikTok video of the lady talking to herself. It's circular logic. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Sure. And
if you're just looking at it again from kind of a high level overview, and you're going, wow, we're supposed to be a republic, and these people, these elitists, these globalists, these career politicians, they're trying to thwart our ability to choose. Remember, it's supposed to be about we the people.
Yeah, right.
We elected them there.
Yeah, right.
They work for us.
No question.
Ronald Reagan says we're a nation with a government, not a government with a nation.
Yeah.
But it certainly seems to be that things have been flipped on its head, on its tail.
Well, it's a look at the Democrats with their, $3 trillion, actually going to be more like $6 or $8 trillion of
like
debt.
Nothing. Yeah, it's just
debt that's going on your grandkids' table. They will feel the pain of that. We won't. We'll be long gone. But here's back to what you were saying. I agree. There's much kiltered here in the United States and in the world. But if we don't have the basic process of clean elections, then you've said it many times, and I agree 150% with you. We're no better than a third world,
banana
republic, or, Russia, or any of these Middle Eastern countries where you may think you're voting.
Right.
But you're not. If these people said out loud several times, we have data that we can show you, we can splash it, irrefutable, and have it packaged up, but they continue to cry wolf. I don't know if it's for TV time or whatever it might be, but that gets tiresome with me. I mean, if you're gonna come out swinging and say, we're gonna show you where this thing was tilted.
Yeah.
Well, then do it. Don't, from Sidney Powell back when Warnock and that other
Ossoff.
Yeah, Maynard G. Krebs over there was running. She stood up and said that, she was going to let loose the Kraken and all this. And we've had several different players step up to the bat and home plate and say that this is it. We're pulling a pin on the grenade. It's going to all be exposed. And then it's like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that to me, I'm like, oh.
Again, like I said, you got to understand that sensationalism, even to a certain degree, is to help counteract what the propagandist media is being pushed to.
Yeah, right? But I mean, I don't think it's very effective, because if it doesn't work on me, then I'm in favor of this forensic audits.
I hear what you're saying, but again, at the end of the day, so what has transpired since day one in Maricopa, and those that have followed it closely, including myself, there's been nothing but severe pushback.
Oh yeah,
from those folks. They do not want it. So again,
the administration sent 70 lawyers out there. 70.
Well, we know that at least Mark Elias is no longer with Perkins Coie. He stepped away with that. Yeah. So again, without trying to speculate, it does seem like some people are kind of trying to step away from the blast zone. I've said this now. This isn't speculation. I know that the folks that are working on it, the Cyber Ninja crew, a few of them are recovering from COVID. So this Jovan Hutton Pulitzer is the guy that made the QR codes. And I think last week, Thursday or Friday, he was saying, hey, the report's going to be released on Friday, kind of to your point about sensationalizing. Everyone's all geared up. Here it comes. Licking your chops. You're on the edge of your seat. You're waiting for something, transformational to be released, to be like, hey, we won. But this is, I said this, I was talking with my wife today about it. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's never been. All of this stuff didn't happen overnight. This is decades, folks, in the making. As I've mentioned before on our broadcast, as an engineer, when I heard that they were moving to these computer systems to monitor your, to basically computational digitize your vote, I'm like, oh, that's a bad idea. Well, look what we had all the way up, including the Democrats themselves saying these machines are vulnerable, susceptible to hacking.
Yeah, in 2016, they were screaming at the top of their
2008,
lungs.
2019, 2020, right up until early last year. The HBO documentary Kill Chain, I keep telling everyone, go see it if you haven't watched it. It is, it blows the lid off of anything about us being debunked conspiracy theorists. Right. But all this stuff is working together. So it's like, don't get distracted by all this other, I call it, I won't take credit for this because what's his name? Steve Bannon says signal to noise, which if you ever studied electronics or studied radio communication, you kind of have, or CB radio, you have that squelch where you turn it up, you've got noise, static in the background, you turn up the squelch to get that, and then you just get the signal. Then I hear Al loud and clear. What you have in this information type war, this non-traditional war is all this noise that's going on. It's to distract you. And for those that don't know the truth, and this is what's really tricky is, if you don't know the Lord, man, Jesus said it himself, man, you're of the father, the devil. I mean, he is a deceiver. It's insidious. There are things that are going on right now that you can't call it anything other than evil. And you may disagree with me, and that's fine. But there's some evil stuff lurking in the shadows and even in plain sight now. I mean, they don't even hide it. So back to the audits. When this report finally comes out, okay, I think what you're going to start to see, this is just Jeff's belief, you're finally going to start to see some movement, some momentum, some traction amongst the American people. And I mean this with Democrats, Republicans, independents, and everyone across the board, because you're going to be like, wait a second, you're telling me 100,000, I'm just using this again, 100,000 of these votes weren't even valid. And how did that happen? And why did they allow this to happen? And then you go, okay, we need to dig a little bit deeper. So then you start looking at states like Wisconsin. They had very strict voter laws on the books that were broken.
Right.
These people that's not indefined. What is it? When you can't leave your house. I just totally forgot it. Folks that are unable to leave because of a medical
physical ailment,
physical ailment, they're not leave. And there were, I think, 100,000 people plus that were signed up for that particular category. I mean, drop boxes. I can go on and on. So like you said, Georgia, especially our neighbor,
right? We
saw it on TV. There was some really strange stuff going on in Georgia.
Yeah, they had videotape.
They had videotape of it, right? Remember Giuliani? He was all going to all these different places, Pennsylvania, right? He was down in Georgia and given all these, and Arizona and was all these things, Michigan.
Well, they doxed him. They got him.
Oh, they came right after him.
Yeah, they put an old man down, I guess.
So again, and you mentioned Sidney Powell, but Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, all of these attorneys, anybody that's, including Rudy, the mayor, America's mayor, right? Rudy Giuliani, who was, during 9/11, I mean, everybody loved him. He was standing up for New York City, but they've all been attacked. So anybody that stands up, look at what they did to Trump, twice impeached. Come on, man.
Right. Well,
give me a break. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of noise out there.
Well,
you gotta find that squelch button. You gotta turn it down and get to the signal.
Well, I'm more than ready to hear them loud and clear, bring up some undeniable evidence that they continue to talk about. I would be more than happy to stand next to them and cheer them on hard, because stop saying that you have something when it shows and it's like, well, it's uninspired. It's not cracking the armor like you said it was going to. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's all.
I hear you loud and clear.
I mean, I'm not saying that, and I know it's been going on, but I mean, 2020 was the absolute a cataclysmic explosion that we.
Well, I think they tested it a little bit. Remember when there was 27 states that came together with the was it the Attorney General Ken Paxton? Remember Texas, and then went to what did the Supreme Court say?
Yeah,
no standing,
none.
No, you don't have standing. So I think, as the general even mentioned on our program, we've never really. This is a blue ocean strategy here. We haven't been here before.
Right.
We've never experienced this. So if we do find out, and I'm pretty confident that we know that there's no way that guy got 80 million votes. No stinking way.
Yeah, right.
I mean, President Trump on Saturday over in Coleman, Alabama, did you see the amount of people there?
Yeah, it was over, they said 300,000.
So that's why my friend Seth Keshel, go watch some of his stuff. And this is not conspiracy. Well, this is to your point. These are hard facts. This is registration. This is open source data. This is what's being reported. That's why I say, let's look at the signal, not the noise. All this other stuff about the machines, that being nice. Hey, okay. But that's an add-on. That's like another layer. It's so complex, it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
But we've made this so complex.
Right.
From the very beginning when we started to migrate to these digital election systems. Well, guess what? It's all about money, because these makers of these machines, there's only a handful of them, but the three most common ones here in the United States, they're getting millions of dollars.
Right.
Here in South Carolina, we paid our tax dollars $51+ million.
What was that for that Eric or whatever it was?
No. That's again, that's what I mean. Complexity. That's a separate system. We pay for that. And some other states, supposedly state-owned. It sounds really good, but when you start to dig in that's what I'm saying. This is the rabbit hole. You go down one, and you're like, oh my goodness, there's a whole maze down here. and like somebody obviously is much smarter than me, because when you look at how all these things tie together and realize, again, that it is about the money. It's always been about the money.
Right.
People that have the power and the influence, it's all about the money for them. Yeah. And so in elections themselves, it shouldn't really be that complicated. I mean, think about it. We used to have election day. You voted on a lever where you punched the machine, and they tabulated those punch cards, right?
Right.
It's not complex. It really isn't.
Yeah,
We've made it.
Or you just turn the little bitty handle, click, 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 click.
There were different ones, but again, I mean, it was easy to, and you had, until the hanging chads, right? You had it pretty simplistic. I mean, you went in, closed the curtain, you voted, you dropped your ballot off, and they were counted at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now everything's digitized. Well, you got to have the touch screen and this and that. No, get rid of them. Let's go back to hand-marked paper ballots. Simplicity. We don't need all this other technology to count, so you have to print more ballots.
That's it.
You got somebody on the call or something?
No, we got coming up on a break.
Yeah, okay.
All right. We'll hold that thought. We'll be right back. You're listening to TalkOne Radio.
Vineyard Assisted Living is a nurturing community with customized care, programming, and amenities that aim to engage and inspire. At Vineyard, we don't just care for you, we care about you, which is why we personalize our programming and care levels to each resident's passions and needs, stimulating mind, body, and soul. Find out more about how you or your loved one can thrive at Vineyard. Email info@vineyardbluffton.com or call 843-612-0700.
Are you tired of market losses and fees associated with the stock market? Would you like to be able to watch your money grow without the risk of any losses? Successful Seniors can help you secure your retirement income. There are no monopolies on good ideas, and in today's financial environment, it is important to get a second opinion and find out what prudent and informed investors are doing with their money. Call toll-free 833-814-0115 or email Doug at dougfair1@msn.com for a no-cost appointment.
Are you an entrepreneur with a business idea but just need a little help getting it off the ground? Well, the Don Ryan Center for Innovation in Bluffton can help entrepreneurs succeed and innovative companies grow. As a nonprofit organization, they provide resources and experienced guidance to successfully launch and grow your business. Contact them today to see how they can help at 843-540-0405 or visit their website at donryancenter.com.
No time for fitness? Unsure of what to do when you walk into the gym? The eFit Club uses eGym and Matrix technology combined with personal training to easily guide you through your workout. It's the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to improve your health. The eFit Club is suitable for all adults, and our members are reporting amazing results. The eFit Club is located in Bluffton at the Belfair Town Village Shopping Center. Mention Alan or Roman of TalkOne Radio, and you'll receive a special discounted membership. It's your time to get fit. Change your fitness, change your life.
Looking for a barbershop with a traditional feel? Well, look no further. Joe's Classic Cuts Barbershop is the Low Country's place to receive a top quality haircut or straight razor shave. You'll enjoy a family environment where everyone is welcomed and the refreshments are on the house. Joe's is located at 23 Johnston Way in Bluffton and open 7 days a week. For old school service and quality, makes Joe's Classic Cuts Barbershop your go-to place for the finest haircut and shave in the Low Country. Call 843-757-5637 or visit www.joesclassiccuts.com today for your next appointment.
The Epoch Times is dedicated to truthful reporting, free from any influence of government, corporation, or political party. Now, radio listeners can receive an introductory 1-month subscription to the Epoch Times weekly newspaper, as well as unlimited access to its website, all for $1. Visit readepoch.com to subscribe online, or call the Epoch Times at 917-905-2080 to subscribe by phone. That's 917-905-2080.
Vineyard Memory Care Community assists those with memory loss to thrive through wellness-enhanced programs promoting independence and mobility while receiving the care and support they need. At Vineyard, we don't just care for you, we care about you and enhance the quality of life for individuals with dementia while providing their loved ones peace of mind. Find out more about how your loved one can thrive at Vineyard. Email info@vineyardbluffton.com. Call today, 843-612-0700.
The only conservative talk radio where you are more important than the host. TalkOne Radio. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're back live, camera. TalkOne Radio here Wednesday night, just a little after 8 p.m. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, loyal listeners. Phones are open, folks. If you want to call in, 843-800-1492. Talk to Big Al and me here. We've got a couple of quick reads here for you. Listen, if you haven't checked out eFit Club, you need to run over. I know my brother here works out there regularly. Great place. Change your fitness, change your life. We've got a 7-day free pass here for you if you just mention TalkOne Radio when you visit eFit Club. They're, it's really a unique area. It's not one of these big sweaty gyms, right? Where you go over there. I mean, you do sweat when you work out there.
Absolutely.
You were telling me about your workout yesterday over there.
I'm on a personal training regimen.
I was just going to say small group personal training. Jay over there is going to take care of you. They're over in the Belfair Town Village Plaza, so it's over there close to the older Kroger here in Bluffton. You can contact them at 843-707-9771. Again, make sure that you mention TalkOne Radio. Your 7-day free pass at eFit Club. Change your fitness, change your life.
Right, they'll take you from whatever stage of fitness you're at to a place that you're much more happier and healthier.
Good deal.
Right on.
So got another announcement here before I pass it on to my brother, Al. So on 9/11, we've got a ceremony that's going to be held at the Veterans Memorial Park at Buckwalter Place. And if you're wondering where that is, go down Buckwalter. You can't miss it. You head back towards the rear of a Buckwalter Place there. There's St. Joseph's Candler. It's right there. The big park. It's beautiful right there. You can't miss it. There's the circle. Yeah. And on 9/11, there's going to be a ceremony. It's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, of course, we invite you to join them in remembering the National Day of Remembrance, beginning at 10 a.m., folks. That's 10 a.m., 9/11, 20th anniversary, the Don Ryan Center for Innovation, right?
Right.
And the town of Bluffton will be celebrating. Festivities begin. And it's a memorial. It'll begin at 10 a.m. on 9/11 over at Buckwalter Place. Unity, patriotism, community.
It'll be nice. And American Legion Post 205, the Women's Auxiliary led by Kay Ranta, was instrumental in building that Veterans Memorial and did one heck of a job. I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. Everyone connected with the Legion Post 205 deserves a big round of applause for all the work they did. And again, they didn't do it alone. They worked with Bluffton, the town of Bluffton. So I'll tip my hat to the town of Bluffton for that also. My friend Brian that runs Palmetto Buff, I'm sure you've already heard of him. He's booking up fast. He's a mobile detailing operation here in Bluffton. He comes right to you. So if you don't feel like taking your car to the car wash, and these impersonal folks that work at these places obviously don't like their job that much, they run you through the car wash, wipe your car down, and off you go. And you're, about 30, 40 bucks lighter in your pocketbook. You can pay a single individual to do the greatest job you've ever seen. Your car will look absolutely brand new. Let the pro come to you. Palmetto Buff, 843-949-8708. Vineyard Assisted Living and Memory Care at 25 Cassidy Drive is a brand new facility. We have a loved one in it, and I'm here to tell you right now, from my heart, the place is fabulous. They have great food, a beautiful dining room. The people that work there want to be there, if you know what I mean. It's not like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. These people really love their job, and the care that they provide and the understanding for the people that are aged up is really outstanding. And right now, if you want to go take a tour, give them a call, 843-258-4207. That's Vineyard Assisted Living and Memory Care. It's two different wings. You go to the assisted living if you just, don't need direct care. And then the memory care place is for those that suffer from Parkinson's or dementia. But in our partnership right now, they're offering 1/2 off the community fee if you mention TalkOne Radio when you book up. So get a tour, 843-258-4207. I love the place. It's awesome. And they're very strict with the protocol for the COVIDs. So, that's what you want, because those people that live there are the most vulnerable.
That's right. That's exactly right. So
there you have it. And now back to the real world.
Now back to the show.
Back to the real world. I mean, it's things are getting. I never thought I'd see this, but I saw this. It was a very small article in the Wall Street Journal about a week ago that mentioned a rancher in Texas found some pamphlets crumpled up on the ground. When he picked them up, smoothed them out, and read them, they were printed by the American Red Cross, and they were basically road maps for people on the road from South America, how to get up to the United States border, how to cross safely, not through the normal channels either, folks. But they talked about where to get water, where to get fed. I mean, it was almost a trip ticket for illegal immigration. And I was saddened by that because I was working with them as a government liaison. And now I don't think I can't get my back to the stone anymore. I can't put my shoulder on that stone any longer. If you are actually encouraging people to break the law under some humanitarian guise, I can't be on that team, man.
Can't get behind that.
I can't get on that team. I'm sorry, but I think that's totally poor. I saw these. Now they just came out. The Epoch Times came out with a full-blown article on it.
Yeah, I was just trying to find that because I saw that. I glanced at it earlier and I lost it now.
And it is an actual paint by numbers, how to get from point A to point B, where to stop, where to get aid, what you need to do, who needs to be with where, and where to cross. I mean, it is a full-blown gig, similar to what Catholic Charities is doing in this country by hiring people to rouse these illegal aliens away to safe houses or running them through to checkpoints, getting them on buses, getting them on aircraft, military aircraft, and being splattered all over the country without being checked for COVID. We don't even know where they are. This is like an unending, it's like the red tide, so to speak.
Right.
People are just pouring into our country, and we're not keeping track of them whatsoever. Because whatever document they gave you, there's no way to verify that. They could have a birth certificate from Cancun, Mexico. How do you know that they're crossing with COVID vaccination cards? The Border Patrol just stopped and in conjunction with Homeland Security just seized about 4,000 COVID, vaccination cards that they write down the vaccination and all that information. Those cards are coming in blank. Now, who do you think are going to get those? So I'm sorry, but American Red Cross, you just, there's rumors that you helped the Nazis too during World War II, but I never believed that. But I don't know. I was really sad when I saw that. And so I'll be sending my letter of resignation to them shortly.
Rightly so. I've always been a big supporter and have for many years of the Salvation Army. I think they do great stuff. Nothing against, say, the Red Cross, but hearing that from you just kind of solidifies it for me.
Yeah. Well, there you go. The Salvation Army. Nobody takes a dime. They got their admin costs are less than 10%.
And that's what you need to look at when you give money to organizations.
Sure.
So, I mean, we always look at that from a philanthropic viewpoint. You want to make sure that your money is going to the people that need it. And the Salvation Army, they do it.
Right. They do it right. And, Chick-fil-A pulled their funding from the Salvation Army last year because of this gay organization called GLAAD put the pressure on them.
Right.
And they have a new owner now who's woke as woke can be. And so it's no longer a Christ-based operation as far as I'm concerned. Sorry.
We see a lot of organizations fall like that.
That's another place.
Stay true to their foundational tenets.
Yeah.
It's happening to our country. We're not staying true to our foundational tenets.
Listen,
Judeo-Christian principles.
Don't give a dime to these places that don't support you and your freedoms in America. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Don't give a dime to them.
And this is true also as it goes over into the political area. I'm telling you what, until we fix what's broken, I would not give a dime to any GOP organization. I'm going to say it on the air.
Right.
These folks that have been running, we've said it before, the GOP is supposed to be run from the ground, from the precinct up. It's been running top down. These folks, whether it's state, local, I'm telling you what, again, they kept, and they send me, I'm not kidding you, probably 25 emails a day. It is annoying as heck.
Right.
But don't give them a dime. If you find a candidate that is America first, and you feel that they are going to represent you, then by all means donate directly to their campaign. This the GOP and any of their organizations that are tied to it, and you can see their I'm trying to think of the red. It's something red. You'll know when you get it from the GOP. You can go right down to the bottom. Don't give them a dime, folks. I'm telling you what, I'm done with them. Some of the things that they continue to say about me and my wife and our organization, they don't know. But you know what? That's how these cronies work. That's how this all works. And you can see because those that they push up and prop up, like the Lindsey Grahams and others.
Sure.
And like
double
we just
agents.
said, Nancy Mace, they turn tail, man. They turn. And you can watch them vacillate. They go from, it's whatever the rising tide or whatever. It's just like, and they come up and they, oh, hey, we're going to do this. It's just it's a bunch of BS, man. So
I had to laugh while Lindsey Graham is, getting all huffed up and talking like a tough guy. He wants to impeach Biden. Hey, Lindsey, go sit down, will you, please? You're one of the 19 that voted for this infrastructure mess.
Yeah. Aren't you having ice cream with? Come on, man.
Dude, Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Come on, man. Get a life.
Get a life. That's exactly what I was thinking. Get a life, Joe. Joe's a hero now. Of course, they moved about 1,500, or I'm sorry, they moved about 4,500 American evacuees out of Baghdad or whatever it is.
Kabul.
Kabul, yeah, same. They're all alike to me. But there's still 1,500 spread out across Kabul and in the countryside. Hey, they got no plan to get those people.
Right.
They're telling the people that are terrified in these homes, do the best you can to get by these roadblocks. You can either being beaten, slapped, slashed, and kicked. And their papers are being taken away from them, by the way. Joe says he's not going to leave until he's going to stay there until we get the job done.
Oh, I thought he said he basically already compromised with the Taliban.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
August 31st, my birthday. We're going to have it all done there. God help the rest of the folks that are being left behind.
You better tell what's his name, Bilkin there, because Bilkin says we're going to do whatever we got to do. So here's what's going to happen.
These guys are a joke. They can't even communicate effectively with you.
These Taliban people are professional savages. They're professional killers. All those people that are standing around the airport come 12:01 a.m. on the 31st of August, they're all going to be horizontal because they're going to be filled with lead. These Taliban are not going to spare the rod on anybody. They know they've already got all the information on who's played with the Americans, who was play with the allies. It's all going to be dumped right on its keister. And it's going to be a massacre over there. These people don't care. You don't understand it. They're cutting cheese. They're breaking bread with the Taliban. These people want us dead. Don't you understand
the
that?
CIA director did a private flight over there and met with the Taliban. Did you see that?
I did see that. Well, I mean, Joe doesn't know what he's doing. Are you kidding me?
He doesn't. He doesn't have a clue.
Did you see his? I couldn't believe his press conference the other day. He started out banging the gong about Greenpeace and all this. We got a great, the economy's great. We're gonna have green jobs. I mean, I was like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
Who wrote this stuff?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be sad. Big Joe's on the line. You want to talk to him?
Sure. Let's hear what he has to say. We got.
Hey, Joe, you're back on TalkOne Radio from Ashtabula, Ohio. What's going on?
Hey, Big Joe.
So, guys, don't be so naive.
Okay.
I mean, you're both smart fellas. How long would it take President Trump to give $60 billion worth of military assets to a foreign country? What processes does it take? Yet this freaking idiot left the shit behind intentionally,
Right.
gave it to the Taliban. In everything you see on the news, they're carrying HK USBs, 716s, 516s, M4s. Are you kidding me?
I saw them flying. The Blackhawks are trying to today. They were doing a very good job of it.
Absolutely. But that's okay. They'll listen in on our radio system because they've got high band encrypted Singar radios now.
Yeah.
It's okay. But what I'm getting at is don't be so naive. Everything, there's no coincidences, Jeff.
Oh, we know that. We know that. We've been saying that. It's just a matter of these feckless leaders that we have, or supposed leaders that we have. They all need to be fired. Milley, Blinken, the NSA guy.
Well, they weren't put in place yesterday.
Right.
Yeah, they were under Obama.
Yourself, when they got put in place during the Clinton era, in the baby Bush era.
Yep.
It started sometime. And you really, it has to be, you have to think about it cognitively. I mean, hell, we talk about cheating on elections. I mean, we all know it happens. Anybody that says it doesn't, they're absolutely ignorant.
Well, they're living in fantasy world.
Just look at the recall election for Gavin Newsom. They thought it was a great idea for mail-in ballots to have clear envelopes. Why? Like, was someone sitting on an opium gin when they thought they could explain it with a good excuse?
Yeah. What are they're smoking some of that medicinal marijuana out there in the Republic of California, right? So, and then I saw that they had the closed circuit camera TV of the folks that they weren't the USPS postal workers. They were taking some of those ballots out of a mailbox, weren't they? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you really have to sit down and you have to think, how do we legitimize our election? And no offense, Al, I'm going to throw you under the bus here. To the point it was legitimate when Al was a kid.
Right.
Because, I'm only 28, Al.
Yeah. We know that's not the truth. Remember, we speak truth here. So.
Come on, man. It works for the president and liar. I mean, why can't I say that and get away with it?
Well, I guess because maybe we're men of integrity. I guess there's a big difference.
But there's a huge difference.
Right.
But I tell you, it's you hear about all this stuff that's going down, and I can tell you that again. I spoke to a buddy in New England, just outside Mass, just near Lynn, Mass, and he got the vaccination, and he was in the hospital a day later.
Oh boy!
He had blood clots in his legs.
Mm-hmm.
And he got it because his wife was pregnant with her fourth kid. But he figured he'd be responsible. Everybody, you got a kid, you don't want your wife to get sick. He went and got it. A few days later, he was in the hospital with blood clots in his legs. I mean, I'll tell you, when it has a 99.9998% survivability rate, I think I'll take my chances.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been saying that from day one here, correct? I played a TikTok video of I thought was pretty creative of this young lady that was, basically talking to herself, if you will, thinking out loud, and she plays both sides of the spectrum. There's the one that pushing for the vaccine, and then the other one is opposed to or doesn't see the need to get it. And I thought it was very clear once she played out the logic and and kind of talking aloud, it made total sense. But Bill Maher said the other night on his program, and it's like, hey, he got the shot. He took one for the team. But at the end of the day, he's like, these boosters, all this other stuff, kind of like what Al mentioned earlier. It's like, wait a second, I did all this. Why do I got to wear the mask now? They just keep changing the rules.
Goalposts,
yeah, the goalposts are changing. And so at the end of the day, Bill Maher said, your body is different than mine. So one size doesn't fit all here. And to your point, 99.9% of the people, healthy people, are going to recover just fine.
Well, and it's not just the goalpost, it's the entire stadium. When they tell you, you get the vaccination, you got a chance you're going to get it. You wear a mask, there's a chance you're going to get it.
Yep.
Well, hell, if there's a chance I'm going to get it either way, and there's a really good chance I'm going to survive, why would I even get it in the beginning?
There you go.
Well, here's the question that I have for everybody. Here's the medical question for those scientists that are experts. How is the vaccine affecting the mutation of these variants, the virus themselves? Because that's what I want to know. You know.
Next thing you know, I kid you not, someone said it the other day out of a joke, and it just actually, I kind of leaned back and thought about it. You remember that movie, I Am Legend?
Yes.
That movie where they altered a vaccination to kill the common flu.
Right.
And I'm sitting back thinking, my gosh, this is, because...
That's pretty insightful, huh?
Well, you can't get Fauci to sit back and say, hey, we were actually doing that. But at the end of the day, it starts making you think. I mean, it's almost frightening what our government's doing and giving power to people like Fauci. To be honest with you, I don't understand how that guy's still walking. Because if I can tell you that some of the stuff, if a family member of mine ended up being caused harm by the guy, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I hear you. You don't even have to go there. I mean, I know it's
just. I think that everybody in this country, and God forbid, people talk. Let's talk about New York and those folks that were in the old folks' homes. The retirement home that didn't have a choice, right?
Exactly.
And I just I talked to Mom about it today, and she was just shaking her head.
Yeah.
She's like, and then, all that. I mean, just how crazy is it that you got a guy going to jail for 5 months for burning a BLM flag, but Seattle and Portland burnt their cities down, right?
Right.
Everything's turned backwards now, right?
Right.
Well, we get a governor of New York that's finally resigned, in shame. He underreported the deaths by 12,000. And how about the 15,000 he's sentenced to death in those nursing homes?
I mean, and nothing happens, and all the way to Ashley Babbitt.
Right.
Right.
That really pisses me off.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest. When no one knows who the guy is, they say it's a Capitol cop. I don't believe it.
Well, you must not have heard. We're getting ready to know tomorrow at what did I say? 6:30 p.m. There's going to be a live interview with Lester Holt on NBC. Joe.
Well, but you got to understand, it doesn't matter because he's already been found innocent.
Right.
Right. Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah.
But I can tell you that if it were a police officer that did that on the street, okay, in a riot, that cop would probably be held negligible.
Sure.
Lose his job.
Criminally
be put
charged.
In jail for the next 25 years.
Right.
We watched the whole thing play off last year with this whole Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. The guy had enough fentanyl to kill a horse in his body. Okay. I mean, regardless of whether you agree with it or not, but the guy you saw, we had to, we had to convict him. All right. So what are we talking about here in terms of the justice system?
Forget it.
Okay. Well, so it's all nonsensical.
Well, the justice system's BS. That whole Me Now generation killed that. Now you can convict someone 30 years later on hearsay. Who knows? Maybe a lie. You don't know.
Right.
As long as you get enough people to lie with you. I mean, Jeff, I could get you convicted of taking down the Twin Towers if I get enough people to say Jeff did it. You don't have to tell the truth. You don't need black and white proof. The letter of the law doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, the Democrats they're out in the open. They're doing what they're doing. They're showing blatant lies. And, it's got to the point where it doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong. They're going to do it anyways.
Well, I think in some ways that's good because we want them out in the open. We want them exposed. Like we've talked about this program from the beginning of this evening. We've talked about how important it is because as more of this stuff comes out, unless you're a complete idiot, imbecile, you can't see the truth for what it stands. And so we got to go to a hard break here in just a minute, but thanks for calling in, Joe, tonight. Appreciate it. Hope your mom's doing well.
Thanks, bro.
Well, all right. We're going to be going to break. We'll be right back. Okay, you're listening to TalkOne Radio.
Vineyard Assisted Living is a nurturing community with customized care, programming, and amenities that aim to engage and inspire. At Vineyard, we don't just care for you, we care about you, which is why we personalize our programming and care levels to each resident's passions and needs, stimulating mind, body, and soul. Find out more about how you or your loved one can thrive at Vineyard. Email info@vineyardbluffton.com or call 843-612-0700.
Are you tired of market losses and fees associated with the stock market? Would you like to be able to watch your money grow without the risk of any losses? Successful Seniors can help you secure your retirement income. There are no monopolies on good ideas, and in today's financial environment, it is important to get a second opinion and find out what prudent and informed investors are doing with their money. Call toll-free 833-814-0115 or email Doug at dougfair1@msn.com for a no-cost appointment.
Are you an entrepreneur with a business idea but just need a little help getting it off the ground? Well, the Don Ryan Center for Innovation in Bluffton can help entrepreneurs succeed and innovative companies grow. As a nonprofit organization, they provide resources and experience guidance to successfully launch and grow your business. Contact them today to see how they can help at 843-540-0405 or visit their website at donryancenter.com.
No time for fitness? Unsure of what to do when you walk into the gym? The eFit Club uses eGym and Matrix technology combined with personal training to easily guide you through your workout. It's the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to improve your health. The eFit Club is suitable for all adults, and our members are reporting amazing results. The eFit Club is located in Bluffton at the Belfair Town Village Shopping Center. Mention Alan or Roman of TalkOne Radio, and you'll receive a special discounted membership. It's your time to get fit. Change your fitness, change your life.
Looking for a barbershop with a traditional feel? Well, look no further. Joe's Classic Cuts Barbershop is the Low Country's place to receive a top quality haircut or straight razor shave. You'll enjoy a family environment where everyone is welcomed and the refreshments are on the house. Joe's is located at 23 Johnston Way in Bluffton and open 7 days a week. For old school service and quality, makes Joe's Classic Cuts Barbershop your go-to place for the finest haircut and shave in the Low Country. Call 843-757-5637 or visit www.joesclassiccuts.com today for your next appointment.
The Epoch Times is dedicated to truthful reporting, free from any influence of government, corporation, or political party. Now, radio listeners can receive an introductory 1-month subscription to the Epoch Times weekly newspaper, as well as unlimited access to its website, all for $1. Visit readepoch.com to subscribe online, or call the Epoch Times at 917-905-2080 to subscribe by phone. That's 917-905-2080.
Vineyard Memory Care Community assists those with memory loss to thrive through wellness-enhanced programs promoting independence and mobility while receiving the care and support they need. At Vineyard, we don't just care for you, we care about you and enhance the quality of life for individuals with dementia while providing their loved ones peace of mind. Find out more about how your loved one can thrive at Vineyard. Email info@vineyardbluffton.com. Call today, 843-612-0700.
The only conservative talk radio where you are more important than the host. TalkOne Radio. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're back on it, man. We're back. Thank you, Joe, for the call. It's always great to hear from you.
Always good to hear from Big Joe up in Northeast Ohio. Thanks
Absolutely.
for calling in. And also, all of our listeners, we appreciate you listening to us on this Wednesday evening. Our lines are always open for you. We want to hear what's on your mind. 843-800-1492. As we round third and head to the finish with 22 minutes left in our show tonight.
It's at 81 degrees, and it's 8:38 p.m. in the beautiful low country. Clear sky tonight. It's beautiful with falling stars, and it's supposed to be a nice little shower tonight.
Yeah, we've had plenty of rain, but you know what? We're getting closer to that favorite time of the year for me. I saw some gardenias starting to pop up in my backyard, and I just love the smell of the gardenias. But as we pass my birthday, as we start getting to September, October is by far my favorite month of the year here. It's usually just absolutely gorgeous. But there's also that risk where we start to see these named storms pop up as well. We got, the next hurricane coming down the pike or whatever. But so far we've been pretty fortunate, because we had 5 years in a row where we had
they're usually
bearing down on us.
The season ends in November or something like that.
End of November. Yeah. Yep.
When's your birthday? What day?
August 31.
Oh, look at you hanging on.
29 again.
And a boy. Younger than I am. That's all I know. That's good for you.
A few years.
But hard
to believe we're. I see you.
I'm over here sleeping.
Hard to believe that we're counting down to the end of August already. I said Groundhog Day again.
Right.
Oh boy,
it's a funny thing. Reading in the paper today that. Russia, Mr. Putin over there refused to drop oil prices, and he demands that the USA, changes its economic positions on some of these, sanctions, settled sanctions that they have against them.
Yeah.
Listen, Joe Biden went to OPEC. Who has a glut of oil now? They're not even producing it. I mean,
they're laughing.
They're like, it's dribbling out because everybody's got enough, except two.
Because it made sense to close down the Keystone XL pipeline, right?
That made a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
We go from being energy independent to dependent on Middle East oil, OPEC. They're what they're doing. I think they went and got themselves a bigger checkbook, because they are going to slam it to the U.S. of A. in a big way, thanks to Saigon Joe Biden. But bend over, America. Next time you go to the pumps, I saw it dropped like 2 cents the other day. I thought, they're going to be blowing their horn now. And now it's right back up to where it was. I think it's back up to 301 here in the town. Great town of Bluffton. But haven't heard anything from Bluffton, as a matter of fact, about what they want to do with these mask mandates. Hopefully they just kind of hold their own, just hold what you got, just calm down, and don't get stupid like...
hold steady. Let's just keep moving down the road.
Beaufort County Council. Now Joe Passman has got this is how he's going to end round this whole deal.
Committee, right? He's formed a committee.
This is how this guy is as slimy as they get, as far as I'm concerned. Changes the agenda at the surprise of probably 85% of the people that are on the council itself. They don't even know what, huh? They're all looking around.
Yeah, that's what Logan Cunningham was saying, is that they were thrown totally, they were totally blindsided. Right. What? Where's this coming from?
So much.
He's creating a committee.
So much for transparency.
Yeah. What about the mayor and the town manager? Is that bypassing them? Who does this guy think he is?
Oh, he thinks he's
King, on Turd Island?
Right.
Give me a flipping break, man. Hey, if you're listening and you're over in Sun City and you live in that you need to go ahead and run against this dude.
Yeah.
Show him the door, man.
He's a real
Give
character.
Me a break. Yeah, he's a real self-serving individual, isn't he?
Right. Well, I mean, his ego is as big as
whatever.
The state of Texas.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to hear anything from anybody else. He says, I confer with the county attorneys, and I am well within my rights to do what I'm doing, and that you can go
King Chairman, that's what we should be
king,
calling?
Yeah. His Eminence.
Hail the King.
His Eminence, Joe Pasman. He's a bum. I guess he's from New York, too. Some people told me that he was from Buffalo.
I don't care where he's from, but he seemed to think that he's the king on his...
that could be confirmed.
Feces Island.
He lives in my neighborhood, so I should track him down, but I'm not that kind of guy. I don't track anybody down, but,
probably over at the pool.
Oh, I don't think so. No, he's too busy.
I'm joking.
He's the man behind the curtain, He's probably tabletopping his next move, with all his cronies that he has in his pocket. It's sad, very sad. I know Maria Walls likes the guy. I have no use for him. I think he's a narcissistic, overbearing, never should be in a leadership position at all in his life. I don't know who said, yeah, that's a good idea. After he kicked out Stu Rodman, I guess. He was bad-mouthing Rodman, finally got him out of there. Here's a guy that, cut a fellow council person out at the knees just to take his spot. He talk about bloodthirsty. Don't turn your back, folks. Don't turn your back. I see going back to Washington now, Defense Secretary Lloyd orders COVID vaccinations for everyone in the military. So it's, hey, you belong.
Yeah, roll up your sleeves and get in line, right?
Yeah, you belong to Uncle Sam. So, I mean, I feel for the guys and girls that are going to take the jab. Some of them are going to get sick as dogs. And hopefully we don't lose any. But unequivocal, just you got to get the jab. That's it. Period. Ended. I'm in charge here.
There's no timeline on it, for what this Lloyd Austin is saying. And they haven't set the timeline, but it's something certainly they're going to institute. I think they're going to have some legal issues on their hands personally. That's just the way that I'm looking at this. Again, you can't, if you have an exemption, let's say a religious exemption,
right?
And we talked about this with package insert, understanding what's in there. There's no reason why you have to take a jab. Again, informed consent. So you have to get something, as Joe just said, 99% of the people are going to recover.
Yeah.
Right? They're giving you there's no options. It's take it or leave.
Right.
So what's that say about our national defense, our readiness?
Yeah, take it or go to the gulag.
I mean, I guess that's one way of weeding out, instead of this wokeism CRT training and everything. I guess that's one way to whittle out the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
Or I should say whittle out the good guys and gals, really, is what it comes down to. The patriots.
Just remember, boys and girls, you don't have to follow an order if it's unlawful.
Yeah.
You can refuse that. That's the only time you can, by the way. If it is unlawful. And
well, time will tell here over the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. Again, what I've understood, unless somebody corrects me, the FDA approval has to deal with this BioNTech product, Comirnaty. I don't even know how you say it. Someone school me on it, please. Let's get somebody that knows a little bit more about it than I do. Just what I'm reading. But it looks like that particular one that formulation isn't even available right now. That was approved. So they're still under the emergency.
So Pfizer's not.
So the Pfizer, it's still under the emergency use authorization.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does that change? Like I said, legally, does Lloyd Austin know what he's talking about? He seems to be looking around a lot.
Well, he does.
Again, he's either really good at playing dumb or,
yeah.
If the shoe fits, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck,
right,
then it's probably a duck. I don't know. I guess it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I just hope, like I said during the break, and that we don't turn into this Australia, what's going down over there.
Yeah. We couldn't get the clip up, but
couldn't get the clip up. I just have the article. Revolver.news. If you've not checked it out, it's free. You can donate to them, and that's, it's totally up to you. There are some great sites that we've leveraged here, and some that aren't so great that I subscribe to, honestly. But revolver.news has an article. If you haven't heard about this, you might want to sit down because what's happening in Australia is just, it goes beyond draconian measures. Okay.
Right.
The leaders down there are doing this disastrous plan in terms of, with this COVID variant, the Delta variant. Listen to this. This is revolver.news. Sydney's in their 9th week of lockdown, in which individuals can be fined $5,000 for leaving their homes. Okay. Capital of Australia is also in lockdown with nearly every business closed, while the whole city is required to wear masks outside of their homes, whether they're indoors or outdoors, and granted a mere 1 hour of outdoor exercise per day. That sounds like prison.
That's without the mask, right?
It says 1 hour outdoors, and they're expected to wear their mask indoors or outdoors. What gives? Are they watching? Who's watching?
House. In their house?
That's what I'm saying. The whole city required to wear a mask outside of their home, whether indoors or outdoors. Maybe it's not their home. Maybe I'm not. The lockdown regulations are arbitrary. Many of them make no sense at all. People can sit outside in public places, even by themselves, far from anyone else, without being harassed by police or fined. Here's the thing where it gets into. So the military and the police, protests are prohibited. When the government catches wind that a protest will take effect or be taking place, no transportation to, again, we're talking larger cities, no transportation to and from the site of the protest, public and private, is stopped, and the full force of the police and military are summoned to disperse and arrest protesters.
Well,
there's some video, and I was trying to find it. There's videos out there with these protesters, and these police are coming in, and I can't remember if it was on Telegram or not. I saw some live footage. I'm like, man, rubber bullets, pepper spray, and all in the full force. And then these people, they've had enough. 9 weeks, folks. You think 2 weeks to flatten the curve here was bad. How about 9 weeks? Stay in your house for 23 hours a day and put that in your pipe and smoke it. So I just, it's one of those things where you start to question and shake your head at this.
It's a great country.
Yeah, I think they've had enough, honestly. And maybe we're all starting to reach the boiling point.
Yeah, definitely. Delta Airlines, they continue to be the pinnacle of wokeness. They're going to charge their employees $200+ a month if they don't get the vaccination for their health care. So there's another modification to this. We're going to get you whether you like it or not.
Yeah, first it was the positive incentive. Now it's a negative incentive, right? Remember, we had the Vaccimillions and all this stuff. We'd never seen that before. Sure. Now it's okay. We're gonna give you with a $200 hit to your right.
Yeah. Well, this is a corporation doing this. This Uncle Sam. They just continue to drive the wedge between the people that are vaccinated and unvaccinated. Just like the same thing with the mask. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't understand. If you see someone without a mask, it's not, number one, not your duty to talk to them about it. Number two, you don't know what that person's gone through. You don't know whether they've been a victim of rape and have smothering, fear of smothering, or they just can't have any type of thing over their nose and mouth. They might have a mental illness that causes them not to be able to do that. You don't know. You have no idea. So, wear your mask, chug along walk on your toes, scootle along, get your groceries and go home. And talk about those terrible people that don't wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask if I don't have to. If I'm not visiting my mother-in-law, I'm not wearing a mask. Sorry. I guess I need some retraining. Send me to the.
We'll see you at the re-education camp, brother. I'll probably be standing right next to you.
Bernie and his followers are definitely up for that. They made the promises before the primaries. If Bernie's not in, we're going to burn this MFR down. And they started on the West Coast and got all the way over to Minneapolis and some of these other cities. Detroit. I mean, you know, these Democratic cities that just allowed them it's a summer of love.
Yep.
Isn't that what the Portland mayor said? Summer of love. This is
Seattle,
wonderful. Yeah.
Portland, all these great.
It's wonderful.
Makes me want to move tomorrow out there.
Yeah.
Not.
All right.
It's crazy.
I love the area out there. And I lived there for quite a while, even after I was out of the
beautiful
service.
Out there. Love it.
It was beautiful. Lived in Gig Harbor, Washington. It was awesome. Not anymore. No, thank you.
Yeah, I love California too. I mean, some of the most beautiful area. I mean, you got the sea, you got the mountains, you know, Southern California. No thanks, man. You can have it.
Yeah.
Not interested in it.
Not interested. It's absolutely dog poop.
South Carolina was pretty darn good until we started seeing some of these crazy politicians and power hungry individuals get into certain county positions.
Yeah, right.
Give me a break.
I don't know. I don't know who gave them this or who told them that they have a lot of power, but please stop acting like nerds. I mean, you're acting stupid.
This is my ball. And I'm going home with it.
Right.
It's like, okay.
I make all the rules.
Middle school.
I make the rules here. Enough of you. Quiet. Boom, boom, boom. They bang the gavel, you know. Blah, blah. That's just what I.
We're going to have to go into an executive session.
Yes. I don't want anybody hearing how stupid we are. You know, executive session. That should be out.
Well, maybe Mike will call in. Maybe we'll hear from Covert on Friday, or Logan if you're listening, or if anybody's listening.
Yeah, right.
Get to Logan. I know these guys, they're busy, and then we're 7 to 9 p.m. now. But if you can call in Friday, would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Because Jeff's not going to be here on Monday. He's going to be hammering. What's going on Monday? Go ahead and make the plug for that big show.
Well, Monday is going to be up in north of the Broad, Beaufort County. There's going to be an event that Seth Keschel is going to be in town. Again, I've mentioned Seth before. I was going to try to find the flyer. I don't have it right now.
He's a good guy, bean counter.
But he's a former captain in the Army, and I haven't had a chance to meet him face to face. Only have been exchanging messages with him. But if you follow him, you can get on Telegram and follow Seth Keschel, or you've probably seen him on a variety of different conservative talk show hosts that have had him on to talk about his strategy for looking at the 2020 election in all states. He's created this heat map, and so he'll be in town, and he will be speaking north of the Broad, and it's 6 to 8 p.m. And you have to RSVP. There's only, I think, 200 people that are allowed into this venue. And I think it's already sold out. So I'll be there. And so will Lynn Wood will be there. Seth Keschel, I think maybe Constitutional Cowboy, a few of the others. And so we'll be
Constitutional Cowboy.
Yeah, there's some other. I don't know all these people. I mean, I know that Patriots are gathering to have a rally. Our friend,
you say Lynn Wood's going to be there?
Yep, Lynn's going to be there. So Helen decided that she wanted to have a little bit of rally and get some people, kind of rah-rah, get together and have an opportunity to listen to what Seth has to say. So that'll be Monday. And then Tuesday, I'm up in Charleston area for an election fraud and audit committee meeting. I think Dr. Frank and Dr. Frank and Seth Keschel will be speaking up there as well to the folks up in Charleston. So I'll be there on my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're going to do any, going to call in with a little,
I don't know,
spot,
maybe I might be able to do that. So
yeah,
we can figure this out.
Easy.
Yeah. To do that. So yeah, I mean, I'm spread. I've got a variety of different things going on. Like I said, it's unfortunate because some folks here within the Low Country, and I told you that I used to work alongside of folks at the GOP here within the Beaufort County.
They're not invited to this thing.
Yeah, listen, this wasn't closed off to anybody, but anyways, it's some people play a gossip and rumors and innuendos and suggestions and things, whether it's my wife and me, and they don't know anything what they're talking about.
That's too bad.
But it's unfortunate. People are going to say what they want and say, oh, they're aligned with this person or that group. Man, if they don't know who I am at the end of the day, I'm sorry, man. What you see is what you get. I speak truth. There's integrity. I'm trying to expose and find out, get to the bottom of the November 3rd stuff. Why aren't you? That's the question I have. Why aren't you? Why aren't you getting to the bottom of it? And you know what? To me, it just shows what type of person or persons that you are, that it's easier to fling accusations and rail against my wife and me about what we're doing with Engage the Right, which is a lot of great work. We met with Representative Weston Newton today and talked to him, and I just came clean. I said, here's some things that are coming down the pike, and in my belief is you want to make sure that you're on the right side of history when this stuff hits the fan.
That's Engage the Right. Is it .com?
Yep, engagetheright.com.
Go there. These two individuals pour their heart into that this effort, so they don't get paid for this. It's just they consider their patriotic duty. So
we care about the country, just like all the other organizations that we support.
Right.
So like Stephanie and JR.
Right.
Operation Patriots FOB, the same situation.
Exactly.
We're putting our heart and soul because we believe in this nation.
Right.
We believe in doing what's right. We believe in the Lord.
Right.
And we're going to continue to pursue that with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength. And we're going to love our neighbor as ourselves. And we're going to pray for those that are persecuting us.
Right.
For some we haven't done. And for some people that should be doing their job properly, but aren't. It's easier for them to point the finger at somebody else, right?
Yes.
As General Flynn said, stop your damn complaining.
Yeah.
It's time to stand up and grow a pair.
Right on.
But, scoundrels will always be scoundrels at the end of the day.
There you go. Haters are going to hate.
Yep.
We're not haters on
no, we love
TalkOne
you.
Radio. Listen, folks, we're happy that you were here with us tonight. Again, Logan, Mike, there's the door's always open. Joe, thank you for the call. Appreciate it always. Want you to be safe out there, folks. Be kind to one another, each other. And come back and join us on Friday.
See you on Friday, brother.
Absolutely.
Thanks again.
Cheers.
As the day sets on another slice of heaven, we hope you've enjoyed the show. We look forward